And if you remember, Bella and Jack identified as upper class, although technically you're not upper class, your parents are, and you're just coming along for the ride because you haven't made a way for yourself yet. And you identified as, the two of you identified, Logan and Emily identified as lower class, okay? And technically speaking, same thing. You're not lower, you're just along for the ride. Like you're just following your family. And in a way, because you spent so much time home, but you still have a family, right? But you spent a lot of time homeless, so in a way you're following yourself. Ultimately, I want to talk about race. And I'm going to get to the argument or the conversation about race inequality and how to understand race inequality and why there are such large and significant differences between ancestry groups in the United States. Okay, I want to get you to understand that. So here's the thing. Everybody's trying to move up, right? Once again, take a look at this. This is all the wealth of all white people, just white people, and it's divided into to deciles, right? And so the wealthiest 10% of white people control 75% of the wealth, and the next 10% control 11.6, which means that, like 85% of the wealth is controlled by the wealthiest 20% of Americans control nonetheless or have 85% of the wealth. The other 15% is distributed among the poorest 80% of Americans. So the idea here is no matter where you're born, wherever you're born, right? Doesn't matter. You're trying to move up. And you want to get as high as you can. And even if you get to the richest 10%, you still want to be in the richest 5%. If you're in the richest 5%, you want to be in the richest 3%. If you're in the richest 3%, you want to be in the richest 1%. We're all trying to move up. What we're trying to do is understand why that does and does not happen for everybody, because it doesn't happen for everyone. In fact, most human beings on the planet are not very upwardly mobile. Most human beings on the planet reproduce their parents, but they mostly stay where they start. So these two are most likely, and again, remember, I'm a sociologist. I don't know what either Bella or Jack are going to do. And I don't know what Logan or Emily are going to do or where they're going to end up. It doesn't matter to me. I'm a sociologist. I want to understand groups. And they are just representatives of, we're going to call you representatives of the lower class. And again, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is. What is that? Is that like the bottom 40%? The bottom 50%, the bottom 2%, I don't even know what that is. But we're going to just say they're representatives of the lower class. But I don't know what they will do themselves, right? Emily might grow, you might be the next, who knows, Bill Gates or whatever, Emily Gates, I don't know, right? But probably not. You might be, it's always possible, but you probably won't be. And I don't know what Jack and Bella will do. Like, we don't know where they will end up. Bella could just decide that she just wants to go live in a cave in Kashmir. You know what I mean? And just like, I'm going to give all this stuff up. I'm going to go live in a cave. I don't need anything. And Jack might decide that he would just rather, I don't know, who knows what, right? Sell used cars in Buffalo, New York, because he meets someone and he decides, hey, I'm going to go to Buffalo and sell used cars, and that's great. But he's probably not. And they're probably going to follow, and they're going to reproduce where they start. Because that's what most people do. And that's the first thing we don't understand. We live in this lottery culture that says, like, well, I could win the lottery, and things could be really different for me. And then we take it further. We say, oh, if I was just smart. If I'm smart enough, I can do it. If I'm clever enough, I can do it. If I work hard enough, remember, Logan the other day said, well, I just got to work really, really hard if I want to get there. So we just got to work really, really, really hard. Except he's probably not going to get there. He might. But if I put 100,000 Logans here, the vast majority aren't going to go there. Why? Because we're reproducing where we're at. That's what most people do most of the time, everywhere in the world. Here's the only thing that anybody can do. The best thing you can do. You make good choices. If you want to move ahead, if the two of you want to be there, make good choices. Okay? I don't know what good choices are, but you've done them already, right? So what did you say the other day about your jobs? Like, how many jobs have you? How long have you been working?
I've been working since I was 15, 30 hours a week at least, and then during the summer I work 60 hours.
30 hours a week and 60 hours in the summer? And Emily?
I've been working since I was 14, and during the school year I do 30, and then over the summer I usually have 2+ jobs.
Okay.
So a lot.
So the two of you are making really good choices, right? Do you waste money on? I'm not hanging on waste money, right? You're both careful with your money.
Yes.
You have bank accounts. You put money in the bank. You do. Okay. So you're making good choices. You're here at Penn State. You figured it out. You're not like excessively over the top in student loans. You're making really good choices. It's awesome. There's nothing more we can ask of you, right? Really. There might be something that you miss here and there, but you're making good choices, right? How are your grades? Pretty good?
Yes.
Because you study really hard?
Yes.
Even though you're working 30 hours a week?
Yes.
And how are your grades?
Pretty good.
Do you ever skip class?
No.
Do you ever skip class?
Yes.
All right. Okay, bad choice. All right. But otherwise, it's good choices, right? So they're doing exactly what anybody would ask. Lower class people. Hey, you want to be rich, you want to be like these two, then make better choices is what we say to them. And I'm like, a better choice? They're already making great choices. How do you make better choices? You know what I mean? Like, how do you make better? We're always just like better. They're making good choices, and they're going to move up. You may not be over here, but you're definitely going to be over here. Bella, you study pretty hard? And like, what's at least one really, besides studying, what's a good choice that you make?
I've also had a job since I was 15. I've worked consistently.
Mm-hmm. And have you learned about yourself and life? And
Yeah, it's taught me a lot.
So you feel like you've matured at the job? And
Yeah, for sure.
you understand the value of $1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Jack, how about you? What are some good choices for you?
I get all my work done, I go to my classes, and I am also pretty careful with my money.
Yeah? Okay. Awesome. They're making good choices. And why is that? Because the two of them, they want to be here. They want to be not just where they're at, they actually want to be down here. Not necessarily, but let's assume you do, right? But money isn't, first off, I don't measure happiness and I don't measure stuff with money. That's not the way to measure. But right now we're just talking that because we're talking about income inequality and wealth inequality. So the two of you want to be down there a little further, right? Obviously, because everyone wants to do at least as well as their parents and maybe not, if not a little better and that kind of thing, right? That's just built into it. Like, same with the two of you, right? Okay, so we make good choices. Sounds like they're making good choices. They're making great choices. They're making great choices. Okay, that doesn't explain why they're poor. It doesn't explain why they're probably not going to be down here. Because they're already making good choices. Like I'm saying, they're probably not going to end up here. Probably. If I'm a betting person and I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to play the odds, because I'm a sociologist, I'm not betting on these two individuals. I'm betting on every individual who is like them. And that includes most poor people. And most poor people work really hard. And most poor people make a lot of good choices, and then they make some bad ones. But sometimes the bad ones are the choices they make because they don't have anything else to do. And it's a choice between two bad, difficult choices, and you choose one, and it seems like, oh, that was a really bad choice. But the other options were pretty bad too. So they're doing what they need to do. Second thing, change the things that you can change. That's what we tell people, right? Look at the structure out there of life, change what you can change. So like, okay, so you're doing that. You're going to school, and what are you? You're saving your money. Like, what are some things you're changing in your life?
I finally found stable housing now that I'm renting an apartment.
Okay, very cool. So you got stable housing.
Yeah.
And you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. You're building up your credit. You're saving your money.
Yep.
You thought about what you're going to major in terms of your ability to be able to take care of yourself, right? You're changing things you can change. Have you been in trouble with the law at all?
No.
Okay, so you're doing all of that, right? You're doing that. And for you, same thing? Same thing with you, right?
Like generally, yeah. But one of the other things that I decided to change, like since my mom was so young when she had me, we made a lot of like financially poor decisions because we didn't like, she was young. So I got a job at the bank. So I was able to like get better financial advice like easily.
Dude, awesome, right?
Thank you.
Dude, look at that. I mean, here's this person who's lower class, is going to get a job at the bank and give financial advice to really help out even more. Like, hey, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to change this. I see if I had more money, but I can't get more money, I'm already working. There are only so many hours in the week, right? So therefore, you got to take the money you have and you got to be really wise with it. I mean, this is brilliant, right? Is there anything more that these two people could do? Like, what do you expect of them? Like, what do we expect? They're working hard. They're doing everything they can do. And with all of that, they're probably not going to get here. And that's okay. It's like we live in this world that says if they don't get all the way down there, they're failures. They're not failures at all. They're doing exactly what they should do. And in doing exactly what they should do, they're going to be upwardly mobile. They may not skip steps. They're probably not going to skip steps. You know what I mean? You're not going to go from wherever you are on that one chart to like all the way over here, but you're going to go up the ladder a little. One rung, maybe two rungs, who knows, right? I mean, you're a chemical engineer, so he might make a lot more than you, but you might. Are you straight? Are you gay? We don't know yet? Okay, well, you might marry a chemical engineer, be it a man or a woman, and then or partner up with somebody, right? But you're an elementary school teacher, so you're probably not going to make as much as him, but that's okay, right? You see that? Are we all good? So you two, you're changing the things that you can change, right? You're like, okay, hang on, let me take all of the information I have and let me see how best I can apply what I know and go as far as I can go on my own. So are you doing an internship in the medical field? Because you're studying immunology.
No, I haven't looked into internships yet. The plan has always just been undergrad and then medical school.
So are you, what year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
So, okay, so you're young. But listen, that might be the thing that you got to do. Change the thing you can change, right? Because you're from Erie. Your parents are physicians. But you're probably not going to get the internship, I was saying before class, at the World Health Organization, right? There's 3 internships over in Paris. And you're probably not going to get one. Because those internships are going to be given to somebody else who's more connected than you, because you don't have that. And that's why you're not way down here. You're here. And so okay, so you're going to have that. And those internships would open a different doorway. And those are going to really connected people. They're not smarter than you, but they're connected. They have other resources that you don't have. So you got to change the things you can change. You can't change that. The fact that your parents don't know someone over in Paris. I do, by the way. You know me, I do. I might be able to score one of those internships for you because you happen to meet me. But otherwise, chances are you're not going to have that. And so okay, right? So these are things, we all have some things that we can cash in and other things that we can't. But if you were to cash that in, that would change the entire trajectory of your life. But you're from Erie, PA. Your parents are physicians. They make plenty of money. You're very comfortable. And you're not at that level. Okay? And that's fine. How awesome. You see that? That's awesome. But it's important that you see this. Jack, what are some things that you could change right now to improve, to make it more likely that you could be down here?
Similar to her, I don't have an internship yet. I'm also kind of early into college, though, so
Are you thinking about it?
Yes, I'm definitely going to try to get one. I just don't have one yet.
Are you leveraging all your contacts to be able to score one of those really cushy?
Yes.
To be Bezos, primary assistant or something like that.
I mean, if you know a guy, yeah.
Dude. So this is the thing, though. You would work on that. So you got to play. It's a shell game, right? You got to work on it. I mean, you may not have the contacts, in which case it just doesn't work for you, and that's fine. And in which case, maybe you're going to be upward mobile, and you're going to get like right here, but you're not going to get down there, and that's okay. The third thing is accept what we can't change. Okay, so listen, man, Emily. Remember the other day when Jack was talking about his high school, and you said, I don't want. What'd you say? I don't want to burst your bubble, but I had a really good Excel.
I said I don't want to burst your bubble, but my school is also very competitive, and we had like good college readiness programs as well.
Okay, all right, okay, awesome. Emily went to a high school, so we're talking about how Jack's high school, right? And then Emily goes to a high school, but she has they have competitive college readiness programs. Like they have these things, they have resources, they have whatever, okay? But no, dude, hang on. You do, you might, but you're not even in the same league with his. That's the football stadium at his high school. You don't even have football. Dude, that football stadium is bigger than half of the college football programs in the United States. It's as big where I went to college, where I went to school, university, who actually played Penn State and actually beat Penn State about 18 years ago. Our football stadium isn't even that large, dude. If that's the size of his stadium, you all. So where are you from again?
Chester County, Pennsylvania.
Chester County, Pennsylvania, right? Dude, if his football stadium is like that, what do you think the rest of his high school is like? What do you think 97% of students at his high school go to college? Like, what do you think the college prep courses are? The college prep, the chemistry, the biology, chemistry labs and shit, they're probably what we have here at Penn State, if I had to guess.
Yes, they're really, really intense. There's a whole like pre-med program at my high school.
The pre-med program, right, so by the time you get to college, you're just skating through. So you get here. So we're like, hey, did you follow this, right? So these two people are like, hey, work hard. This is the United States. Work hard. You might be poor, but work hard. Do the things you can, make good choices. Take care of what you can take care of, and you can get there. But come on, man. That's his high school, y'all. Like, maybe she can compete with him. Like, that's fine. But every Emily, if we take 5,000 Emilys from around the United States, they're not going to compete with 5,000 Jacks. They might have an exception. Like there might be an exception here or there. And there are some people like Jack who are just going to like start smoking weed and playing video games and flunk out of college. And that's awesome, right? Probably already have. You probably have graduated with people who have already dropped out of college. But you're not even competing in that. And that's this world that we don't understand the nature of the obstacles. We don't even see them because you, for example, the other day you say, no, we have a pretty good college prep program. And you have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have no idea. And Jack, you have no idea what like a poor high school would be like, probably. Your high school, I'm not saying it's poor, but you ever walk through one?
I have no reference to what one would be.
That's your reference. Right? Your reference is your school.
Yeah, but like going just to one, I don't know how far like down the ladder that is compared to mine. I don't know if that's just one step down or if that's the rock bottom.
Dude, rock bottom. Is it rock bottom? You're not rock. No, you're not rock bottom. Please, not at all. Okay, so we got this, right? We're trying to understand how it is that Logan and Emily are going to work really hard and they're going to do well. They're probably not going to be sitting there. They're not going to be over there at the end of their lives. Probably not. Okay, are we good with that? Do you feel bad? Like, do you feel like I just sucked the wind out of you guys? Like I've somehow...
No.
You're going to stop trying or something? Logan,
No.
you?
No, I honestly take it as a challenge.
Dude, awesome, man. Yep. And for me, I'm just being a sociologist, right? I'm just saying, like, look, this is how it operates. You know, it's the same operated for me. You know, I didn't have the career that I would have had I had a very different childhood. for me, it's been a pretty mediocre career in terms of career-wise. Not mediocre, it's fine, it's great. I love my life. I look backwards, I wouldn't change anything. But you know what I mean? But had I had parents who were physicians, or had I had your parents and gone to your schools and did that thing, I'd be in a different place. This is black wealth in the United States. We take all the wealth of all black Americans, and we're only going to talk about white and black today, okay? If you take all the wealth of all black Americans, and you divide that up, the richest 10%, so we divide the black community up in the United States, the black population, into tenths, okay? The richest 10% control, same thing, 75% of the wealth, of all black wealth. Look at that. And then the next 10% is 14%. So right here, it's about 90%. The richest 20% of black people control about 90% of the wealth. Do you identify with the two of them?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And do you, in terms of working and going to class, like working hard,
Like in high school, my mom wouldn't let me work. She didn't really want me to worry about that. In college right now, I do have a job, like on-campus job, so I have to keep up with that.
So in high school you didn't work because your mom wanted you to focus on grades
Yeah.
to make sure you got into college and stuff, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And you did well in high school?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and you got here. Lexi, how about you? What about them do you connect with?
Not having to worry about finances as much throughout school, and just like Virginia mentioned, my mom didn't really want me to work either, focusing on high school and getting ready to go into college.
So, do you feel you make good choices? Have you made
to.
any bad choices that are really like, oh my God?
Probably.
But when I say make good choices, do you
Yeah.
connect with that?
Yeah. We go about our days and we all have to make choices, so I hope all the ones I'm making are good choices.
And what are you majoring in?
Electrical engineering.
And do you see your advisor regularly? Are you like...
The clubs I'm a part of kind of help me more than the advisors. So I talk to people that are also in my major, trying to see if I'm on the right path, making the right choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then changing the things that you can change? Did your mom go to college?
She did, but later down the line, more recently, she's still in college right now also. Yeah.
Okay.
I do change, I try to do all this so that way I could have a different life than I guess what my parents had and what they were trying to give me by coming to America. So yeah.
And your dad?
Oh yeah, him too.
And the things you can't change? Like the fact that you're a woman, the fact that you're black?
Yeah, I cannot change those two things.
So do you how is that for you? How often are you thinking about that? How often, I don't know.
I think about it a lot, being in STEM. In every class I go to, I'm either always one of the only black people, or I guess the only woman presenting person there also. It affects me in the way people talk to me. I feel the opportunities I get, it affects me there. So it's something I can't escape. So I don't know how else it wouldn't affect me.
Does it lead you to be less motivated?
Quite the opposite. More motivated. I want to prove that I can do it, even with the obstacles I have.
So it's kind of like what Logan said.
Yeah.
Lexi, how about you?
It's the same as Virginia was mentioning. It's very annoying because you have to work 5 times harder than the person next to you just to get 50% less of recognition that you deserve because of your race and your gender. So it's a difficult intersectionality that you have to face, and especially when you see things like, the gender pay gap, like black women getting paid less than white women. So it's something difficult and all the time, and then it's also difficult going to classes as well, because my major is management information systems. So when you're sitting around doing group projects, you see people not really want to hear your ideas, talk to you. And even something as simple as walking into East to get food, people will look at you like you don't pay your tuition. So it's just
So you
annoying.
you carry this around a little bit, right? You carry this around. Does it suck the wind out of you? Does it lead you to not work hard? Does it lead you feel like you want to give up? Does it where are you at?
Me personally, it doesn't make me want to give up, but there will be days where I'm just exhausted. And then I'll like have to take my moment and get myself together and realize that me giving up isn't going to help my situation, or it's not going to make me in a better position at the end. So like I'll have my days definitely, but overall I do think it motivates me just because of how I was raised and like that mindset I've had to have since I was younger, ingrained into me now.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. So when I said the thing about, so Bella and Jack, you're working hard like them, right? Like you want to at least stay where you're at, if not do better than where you're at or where your family's at right now, right? But it's likely you're not going to be way down here. Maybe you do a step, you go one step up, like, okay, great, right? Doesn't matter how hard you work, you're motivated. Have you made some really dumb decisions that have really held you back?
I don't think I made any dumb decisions.
Okay.
No, not really.
Okay, all right. So you're making good choices. You are changing the things that you can change, right? You picked management information systems because, why is that?
I picked it because I really want to work. Well, I want to work in the sports industry overall. Like I want to work in the NBA. But I really wanted to focus on project management, and I feel like management information systems helps me get all those skills necessary and have that technical aspect as well that can put me up there and competitive.
Okay, so you're envisioning, right? You got it. Lexi's doing everything, and Virginia right here. The two of them, they're doing everything that we expect of Americans. If you want to move ahead, if you want to get better, if you want to be better than what you are and make money and make more money than you have, we'll say get rich, but I'm not saying that because that's just not part of it, because it's probably not going to, for you, again, it's probably not going to happen. You're probably, again, I'm a betting person, remember that? You may end up down where Lexi is, but whatever. But you'll be here, which is awesome. Does that make sense to you? Does that deflate you? Does it? So it's all good?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, because you understand I'm being a sociologist. Okay, so they're doing everything that they could possibly do. Okay, got it? Everything, these three, because remember, these three people don't want to stay here. They want to be here. Okay? They don't want to stay there. They want to be here. And these three people don't want to stay here. They want to be here. Okay? They're all doing everything they can possibly do. What more do you want? You know what I mean? Really, what more could we ask for them? Like, what do you want them to do? Like, take like Lexi and Virginia and so on. Like, everybody is, we talk about all this race inequality, this stuff here. It's like, God, they're doing everything they can possibly do. There's nothing more they can do. They're making good choices. They're taking advantage of the things, because you say you're part of a program, so you apply. What program is it?
I'm part of NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers.
Okay, awesome. So you're part of NSBE, and NSBE is really there. There's so many cool things that come out of NSBE, so you join that. It's like, here you go. You're doing everything. And the things you can't change, you're using it, as you said, Lexi, you're using it as kind of motivation to even push you a little further than you typically would. Here's the problem. Here's where we're at. The people who are poor, I could pull somebody up from every ancestry group in the United States, right? There are plenty of poor white people. We have this idea in this world, it's like, oh, we think poor, we think black. This is like, in spite of the fact that half of all black Americans are middle class. But, we don't think that. We think poor, we think black, okay? This is a photo. I just want to show you this because I want to turn it. I want to just tweak things. This is a photo of some kids. This is why we have child labor laws, by the way. These are some kids from outside of Scranton, PA, in the early 1900s who worked in the coal mines. Before we had child labor laws. They're all white. They don't look white. If you could see it, if that was a color photo, they'd all have dark skin because they have coal all over them. And this is a black family right around the same time. It's a black middle-class family that has, this is a rockin' family. This is you know, look at that. Look at that foot. Look at that man. That is a man that just has distinction and respect. And he works hard. He does everything he's supposed to do. That is, you could just tell. Look at the two women, right? Look at the kids. Like, come on, man. It's amazing. Got it? So it's not all. Don't think past. It's like, oh, all black people are poor and all white people are rich. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that. But it's also not that complicated.